The 2023 season has not gone as planned for Mercedes fans, and quite frankly, the Silver Arrows have been off the pace. The podium in Australia only papered over the cracks for the team, and a major overhaul of the car and personnel is needed for Mercedes to challenge the title this season. The car overhaul may take a while, but it does now look like enough is enough, and it's time for a change at Mercedes. Stick around to find out what the changes are and whether they will be a good thing for Mercedes. Mercedes has been under huge pressure this season, as many people thought that after last year's season we would see the return of a competitive Mercedes, but after 3 races, many people are still looking for Mercedes to take their sandbags out. Mercedes fans, don't attack us in the comments, it's just a joke. With that being said, no one can challenge Red Bull, but if anyone can at least get it right and push Red Bull, it will be Mercedes, as you don't go from being 8-time champions to chumps overnight. Mercedes fans have had to endure a torrid time with their rival fans and probably just want a break, and nothing would make them happier than to see Mercedes challenge Red Bull. Still, at this stage, the dream looks far off, with Toto Wolff recently quashing any rumors of massive changes for Baku, but that they are going in the right direction. However, that does not mean all is lost for Mercedes, as the team does have one last roll of the dice they are planning. We will consistently be bringing upgrades to the car over the next few races, which is something to look forward to. But there's no such thing as a magic bullet that transforms the car, and it's about being realistic with your expectations. Hopefully, we will see a steady improvement, Wolff said in a Q&A published on Mercedes' website. The team boss did go on to say that the team is at least heading in the right direction. In terms of car development, it is encouraging to see that within 3 races we understand the car much better. We have defined a clear direction where we need to go, and I believe we are on the right trajectory. This is all good and well from the Mercedes team principal, and if any of what Toto has said in the past comes true, it does now look like Mercedes will go down the route of the Red Bull concept, with Toto recently saying that if Red Bull wanted a sticker on the car to show they had designed it, they could have it. F1 is rife with teams copying each other's designs. Red Bull in particular like to point out that other teams have followed their design. It's well known that those who get ahead in the new regulations go on to dominate the sport, and that is exactly what Mercedes will look to avoid. But one does have to ask yourself, with the car being so far behind Red Bull and now Aston Martin, someone behind the scenes must have been making the calls, or in this case, taking the team down in this direction. We understand that Mercedes has lost key staff over the years, but they will still have a great team behind the car, with possibly the best minds in the game building the car. So how on earth did they get it so wrong? Something that Lewis Hamilton was very quick to point out when the season was not going as planned. Like, I've driven so many cars in my life, so I know what a car needs. I know what a car doesn't need. And I think it's really about accountability. It's about owning up and saying, yeah, you know what, we didn't listen to you. It's not where it needs to be, and we've got to work, said Lewis Hamilton. Not a great look when your star driver, who's won 7 world championships, starts to question the team, and this would have been fine on one occasion, but it didn't, with the Brit criticizing Mercedes again. When you're driving, you feel like you're sitting on the front wheels, which is one of the worst feelings to feel when you're driving a car, he said. We sit closer to the front wheels than all the other drivers. Our cockpit is too close to the front, said Hamilton in Australia. Lewis claimed had he known what the technical team were doing with this aspect of the car, it wouldn't have happened, adding 100% it has to change in the future. Now, I think most people can understand Lewis's frustration, as the man is chasing a record no other driver has ever achieved, and time is not on his side, but to criticize your team twice in one season seems a bit harsh, with Mercedes driver surely being spoken to behind closed doors to ensure he toes the line. Well, maybe not quite, as it looks like Mercedes has listened to their 7-time world champion, with a major overhaul happening behind the scenes at Mercedes. Hamilton is merely just airing what the rest of the Mercedes fans are thinking and wanting to see some credible action taken to end their misery. Well, wait no longer, Mercedes fans, as Toto Wolff looks to have listened to both you and Lewis to ensure the team is moving in the right direction. And that change is that James Allison has been recalled to the role of team technical director, replacing the outgoing Mike Elliott, who is banished to the Mercedes America's Cup project, which is a co-venture with Ineos. Speaking about the move, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff told media, "This was very much driven by Mike Elliott owning the process. So we have reversed the roles. Mike has moved up to CTO as he has a brilliant, switched-on scientific mind, and James Allison has returned to his technical director position, reporting into Mike. While Allison's previous role as CTO meant he only worked 3 days per week, Elliott will be committed full-time. It is also understood that Allison will retain a level of involvement in the America's Cup project that he was working on during his time as CTO. Now, it's easy to think that this change was purely done by Toto Wolff due to poor performance, but according to the senior man at Mercedes, the change was instigated by Elliott himself. Mike came to the conclusion that the way he approaches things, his skill set, is best utilized in developing the organization going forward, from technical capabilities to human capabilities, and putting together the structure that can be successful for many years to come. And I'm actually very happy that Mike took this decision by himself to put himself in this role, with both him and James coming to this conclusion, as we are having both of them in their genius. Now, you are probably thinking, fine, so they brought back Allison, whose CV in F1 is amazing, but the problems run deeper than that, with not only Allison working on the car, but a whole team. Well, you would be correct, as it's not only Allison and Elliott's roles that will change, but rather a further change will be made by the team. As well as Allison and Elliott switching positions, Mercedes has also changed the job profiles of its senior designers to better adapt the team to the cost cap environment. John Owen, as the chief designer, had a very different job profile under the cost cap because, in addition to the creative part of designing a car, you have a ton of extra work that comes with it. What happened is that the chief designer became a cost cap administrator. So we've split the role. John stays as the chief designer, but we have mandated his deputy, Giacomo Tortora, to become the engineering director. It means John can concentrate on the specifics of the car design, and Giacomo looks after the design office and the organizational development, Wolff added. So now Owen has returned to being more focused on car design, with his deputy Giacomo Tortora moving into an engineering director role and helping with cost cap resource division work. This is all great news if you're a Mercedes fan, but let's be honest, Allison is not suddenly going to be able to suddenly change the team, and surely by the time he left Mercedes, the car concept was already signed off, so he also got it wrong. Well, you were probably right, but the key issue here is that Mercedes stuck with the design of the car rather than looking to change it. Agreed, this is not the easiest option, but it has taken them a full season and 3 races to see they have got it wrong, which in F1 terms is catastrophic, as they have lost valuable time. Indeed, Allison must galvanize that now altered technical structure and then lead it to take on Red Bull's current crushingly superior position, treading a concept path Mercedes' rival fully laid down. But what the return of Allison gives us is the battle that most fans want, and that is Newey versus Allison. The two geniuses battling it out to ensure both of their teams have success to create the epic battle that all F1 fans want to see: Red Bull versus Mercedes, but more so Hamilton versus Red Bull.